Okay, so this is for the buying and selling for the second grading that we have. So for business mathematics. So in buying and selling, we must remember those things or the terms that we used. So in buying and selling, we have the mark on, or simply represented as MO. It is the difference between the cost of the item and its selling price. So a mark on is added to the total cost incurred by the producers of goods or services. It is usually expressed in terms of percent. So yung mark on natin, usually this is the what we call the tubo, or yung the one that we put para kumita tayo sa isang item na binibenta natin. And then after that, we have the cost price, which is simply represented by C. It is the price that a merchant pays for an item. So simply, this is the one that we called as the puhunan if you are going to have a business. So yung puhunan mo is the one that you used as the starting capital kung magkano ba yung bili mo sa isang item or sa isang bagay na binibenta mo. Then we also have with this one, the selling price, or simply represented as SP, the price at which the commodity is sold per unit. So it is the actual selling price of, or the actual price that you were selling the unit na nabili mo. Okay? So in our mark on rate, so this is usually in percentage. So we have two types of mark on rate. So first we have the mark on rate based on cost, or simply just a moment. Play on the current slide. Okay. So balik tayo dito. So mark on rate is represented by percentage, and we have two types of mark on rate. So we have the mark on rate based on cost. Okay. So we have the rate based on cost, or we have R sub C, and then we have, which is this one, markup expressed in percent. So in terms of cost yan. Then we have the based on the selling price, or we present it as R sub SP. Okay? So those are also expressed in percent but derived from the selling price that we have. Okay? So just remember those two, but that we will be discussing on our next video. So let us focus first on those three. We have the selling price, which is SP. We have the cost represented as C, and we have the mark on represented as MO. So if you want to get the selling price, so these are the formulas that we use. For getting the selling price is equals to the mark on plus the cost natin. So yung cost natin, para makuha yung selling price natin, i-add mo lang si mark on plus the cost. Then if you want to get the mark on, it is equals to the selling price minus the cost. And to get for the cost, we simply do selling price minus the mark on. So those are the three simple formula that we use to get for the selling price, the mark on, and the cost. Okay? So let us now have first our first example. So example number 1, an office table with a total cost of 2,230 is sold for 2,900. What is the amount of the mark on? So in here, hinahanap natin is yung mark on natin. So let us first identify the given. So first, we are looking for the mark on. So mark on, or MO, will be the one that is missing. Okay? So let us now get the given. So, identify natin kung ano ba yung mga given natin. So, it says here, an office table with a total cost. So, C is equals to 2,230. Then after that, sold. When we say sold, it means this is the selling price. So, the selling price will be equal to 2,900 pesos. Okay? So, we have 2,900. And what is the amount of the mark on? So, if we go back, dun sa formula na meron tayo, mark on will be selling price minus the cost. Okay? So, mark on is equals to the selling price minus the cost. So, since the selling price is given and the cost is given in here, we will just simply substitute. So, copy mo lang si mark on is equals to the selling price natin, which is 2,900 minus yung cost natin, which is 2,230. So, do the operation now. So, if we have 2,900 minus 2,230, we will have 670 pesos. So, this will be our mark on now. 670 pesos. As simple as that. Okay? So, let us now move on to our next example. So, example number 2. The list of pair of shoes in a discount store is 650 pesos. The item cost 490. After negotiation with the buyer, the pair of shoes was sold for 550. So, what are the initial markup and the maintained mark-on price? Okay? So, initial mark-on and the maintained mark-on price. So, in here, dalawa yung hinahanap natin. So, when you say initial, this is the first mark-on, is the one that is missing. And the maintained mark-on price, let us rename it as 2 mark-on. So, this will be the one that is where the item is being sold, or after negotiation, ano yung mark on na nakuha mo. So, that will be the second mark on in here. Okay? So, the first mark on is the original price, and then the 2 mark on will be the price after the negotiation is done. Okay? So, if we try to answer this one, again, we will have the given in here. So, the list of pair of shoes in a discount store is 650. And the item cost 490. So, our cost here is equals to 490. And then, the discount store is listed for 650. So, this is the initial selling price. We have initial selling price, or the first selling price, we have 650 pesos. Okay. Then after that, ito muna yung hanapin natin. The first mark on muna. Dito muna tayo. So again, our formula is mark on is equals to the selling price minus the cost. So, the first mark on. Okay, so it means gagamitin natin to. And also this one. So, again, copy mo lang si mark on. Selling price natin, or the first selling price, is 650. Minus cost natin is 490. So, if we do that in our calculator, we have 650 minus 490. that is equivalent to 160 pesos. So the first mark on natin, mark on 1, is equals to 160 pesos. So this will be our first mark on. This satisfies the question, what are the initial mark on? So if the item is sold for 650, you will have a mark on of 160 pesos. And now let us find for the second mark on. This is the mark on after the negotiation. Okay? So, yung cost natin is still, that is 490 pesos. And then, yung second selling price natin, or after the negotiation, the pair of shoes was sold for 550. Okay? So, our second mark on will be 550 pesos. So, the same ba rin? Our formula, mark on is equals to the selling price minus the cost. Copy down mo lang yung second mark on. Then, yung selling price natin, or the second selling price, will be 550 minus yung cost natin, which is 490. So, if we do that in our calculator, so if we have 550 minus 490, that is equivalent to 60 pesos. So, our second mark on is equals to 60, which satisfies the second question, what is the maintained mark on, or the price kung magkano na ibenta yung shoes natin after the negotiation. So, the mark on, if it is sold for 650 is equals to 160, and the maintained mark on, or after the negotiation, the mark on natin is equals to 60. Okay? So, let us have our next example. Okay. So, example number 2, Mrs. Ravenna, an entrepreneur, has 500 bags remaining stock of cement. The cost of cement was 175 per bag, and the selling price is 186 per bag. Letter A, what is the mark on? And letter B, how much is her total profit based on the stock of the cement? So, ayusin lang natin to. Discard. Yeah. So, Mrs. Ravenna, an entrepreneur, has 500 bags remaining stock of cement. And the cost of cement was 175 per bag, and the selling price is 186 per bag. What is the mark on, and how much is our total profit based on the stock of cement? So, let us first answer letter A. So, letter A, what is the mark on? Mark on is equals to question mark, and then identify the given. So, Mr. Bena, entrepreneur, has 500 bags remaining stock of cement. The cost, so cost of cement is 175, is equals to 175 pesos. And then, the selling price, SP, is equals to 186 pesos. So, what is the mark on? So, for letter A, so the formula for the mark on, we have mark on is equals to the selling price minus the cost. So, substitute lang natin yung given natin. So, we have the selling price. Selling price natin is 186. So 186 minus the cost is 175 pesos. Okay? So in our calculator, 186 minus 175, that is equivalent to 11 pesos. So mark on is equals to 11 pesos. This will be our mark on now. So the answer for letter A is 11 pesos. So for letter B, how much is her total profit based on the stock of cement? So let us represent that as total profit as TP, the one that we are looking for, and then based on the stock of the cement. So let us say stock of the cement is equals to 500, and then the mark on natin is equals to 11. Okay, so why 11? Because sa nakuha natin, yung mark on natin is 11, yung kikitain niya per bag. So, ang tinatanong, how much is the total profit in 500 bags? So, simple lang, gagawin mo lang, multiply mo lang sila. Okay? So, to get the total profit, we have the selling price, the stock of cement times the mark on natin. So, substitute lang natin. So, the total profit, the stock of cement is 500 times 11 lang natin siya. Okay? So, 500 times 11, the total profit na makukuha natin is equals to 5,500 pesos with the stock of 500 bags of cement. So, this will be our answer now. Okay? So, next natin, answer this one, and then after that, you can pause the video, and then we will be having the answer for this table. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin. So, okay. So, once na nakuha na-post na yung video, we'll now get the answers for this one. So, in here, first muna tayo. We are looking for the cost. So, ang formula natin to find the cost or kung magkano ba yung pinuhunan doon sa certain item natin. So, the formula to get the cost is equals to selling price. Cost is equals to the selling price minus the mark on natin. Okay? So, ang selling price natin is 480 minus natin yung mark on na 120. So, 480 minus 120, that is equivalent to 360. So, the cost natin dito is 360. Okay? Next naman tayo. We are looking for the selling price. So, selling price is the one that is missing. So, the formula for the selling price is equals to cost plus the mark on natin. So, yung cost natin from number 2, so our cost is 300 plus yung mark on natin, which is 120. So, the selling price will be 420. So, our selling price here is 420. Okay? So, let us move on to number 3. Okay. So for number 3, we are looking for the here. We are looking for the mark on. Mark on, as we said, yung mark on natin is selling price minus the cost. Substitute lang natin. Selling price for number 3, we have 875 minus yung cost natin, which is 500. Okay? So if we do that in our calculator, we have 875 minus 500. That is equivalent to 375 pesos. So our mark on is 375. So we have 375. Next. So next tayo dito, we are looking for the cost. So cost is missing while selling price and the mark on is given. So para makuha yung cost natin, we have here the selling price minus yung mark on natin. Okay? So if we have the selling price of 500 minus the mark on, which is 375. So if we put that in our calculator, 500 minus 375, that is equivalent to 125. So the cost na meron tayo is 125. Okay? So for number 5, we are looking for the cost. Okay? So cost is the one that is missing. So again, yung formula natin, selling price minus the mark on. Okay? So substitute lang natin, selling price is 483 minus the mark on, which is 160. Okay? So 483 minus 160, that is equivalent to 323. Okay? So that will be our cost now. We have 323. So that is how you get the selling price, the cost, and the mark on. So in our next video, we will be discussing about the mark on based on cost. So thank you for watching.